Take a look around you. Plants are everywhere. They grow low to the ground and high into the air. Many of the plants you see were once just tiny seeds. If you want to grow a plant, here's a recipe. Take the plant seeds and put them down into the ground. Cover them with dirt and pour some water all around. Soon each seed will sprout into a little green stem. Give them lots of air and sun and water now and then. Plant your favorite flower seeds all in a row. Water them all and you can see how they grow. Plants have 5 parts. First come the stem and the roots. Next appear the leaves and then the flowers and the fruits. Some fruit grows on vines or shrubs like grapes and berries. Some grows on trees like apples, oranges, and cherries. Plant your favorite fruit seeds all in a row. Water them all and you can see how they grow. Vegetables are parts of plants like kale and spinach leaves. You're eating plant roots when you say, "Pass the carrots, please." Peas are tasty seeds and celery is a yummy stem. Artichokes and Brussels sprouts are flowers, we eat them. Plant your favorite vegetables all in a row. Water them all and you can see how they grow. Lots of plants can grow without a garden or a yard. Plant seeds in a window pot, it's not very hard. Make sure that they get water, air, and light from the sun. You'll find that growing plants is both exciting and fun.
What is the weather like outside today? Can my friends and I go outside and play? Could it be rainy and drippy and foggy? Will I need an umbrella? Will my sneakers get soggy? Or maybe it's windy, my hair will be blowing. The trees may bend over and leaves will get going. What if it's freezing with icicles and snow? I could build a snowman, but will Mom let me go? It could even be hailing, ice falls from the clouds. Then I can't go outside, it's too wet and too loud. What is the weather like outside today? Can my friends and I go outside and play? What if it's hot and the sun shines too bright? When I'm sweaty and hot, I don't feel quite right. Or it could be so cloudy, I can't see the sun. When clouds hide the sunshine, it's not as much fun. But maybe it's perfect. There's no snow or ice. There's no wind, rain, or hail. The weather is nice. There are so many ways that the weather can be. Maybe all kinds of weather are okay with me. Because I really just want to go outside and play. My friends and I want to play outside
Centipedes and caterpillars have a lot of feet. I wonder when it's hot out, do their feet burn from the heat? But if they had to cover them, their moms would sing the blues, because they'd have to buy their kids so many pairs of shoes. Bugs and things. Bugs and things. It's hard to hold this wiggly, squiggly thing that that likes to squirm. I bet you guessed I'm talking about an ooey gooey worm. You might think they're slimy, but a bird thinks they're just fine. Once I held one in my hand, now he's a friend of mine. A spider weaves a web of silk, she is a master spinner. Upon her web she waits to trap her breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if a spider asks the fly to drop in for some pie, even if it's chocolate cream, he better fly on by. Bugs and things. Bugs and things. Creatures that crawl and things that have wings. Bugs and things. Now if you stop to watch an ant, you see to your surprise that tiny thing can carry leaves and breadcrumbs twice its size. So when you think that someone who is small cannot be strong, think about that little ant and you will know you're wrong. Oh, bugs and things. Oh, bugs and things. Creatures that crawl and things that have wings. Bugs and things. Bugs and things. Bugs and things. Bugs, things. Bugs, things. Bugs and things. Bugs, things. Bugs, things. Bugs and things. Creatures that crawl and things that have wings. Bugs and things.
Oh, no, Nutley! What have you done? We were saving those acorns for winter.
Stop your worrying, Professor. We have eons till winter.
Yes, well, that's not what your shadow is saying.
My shadow talks?
Oh, no. No, your shadow isn't actually talking. All I'm saying is the length of our shadows can tell us what season it is.
It can?
Allow me to explain. You see, Nutley, in the winter, the sun follows a different path across the sky than in the summer.
I've never noticed that before.
With the sun in the sky longer in the summer, there's more time for the sun to heat things up.
So that's why it's warmer in the summer.
Exactly, Nutley. In the winter, the sun is not in the sky as long, so there's less time for the sun to warm things up.
That's why it's cooler in the winter. But I'm still not sure what my shadow is telling me. Hey, that's me. I'm rather handsome, don't you think?
That's you in the winter, and this is you at the exact same time in the summer. Watch what happens to your shadow. Summer, winter. Summer, winter.
Hey, my shadow is longer in the winter.
Yes, it is. Now look at your shadow. What do you think it's telling you?
Uh-oh.
Nutley?
Winter is coming. Don't just stand there. That's much better.
Next week, we'll discuss gravity.
Oh, hello. I was just finishing up a little surprise, but more on that later. I'm Professor Esther Hester, and this is my lab partner, Jester. Say hello, Jester. Today, we will use science to learn about your lungs. Did you know your lungs are like a balloon? Whoops! Nice catch, Chester. I'll need this for our experiment later. But first, let's see what lungs look like using my own invention, Professor Hester's awesome body scanner. I have 2 lungs, one on the left, one on the right. They look like pink balloons, don't they? This muscle below my lungs is called the diaphragm. When my diaphragm moves down, air goes into my lungs through my mouth and nose. When my diaphragm moves up, it pushes the air out of my lungs. It's easier to see how this works when I take big, deep breaths. Watch. We scientists like to see how things work, but we also like to make models so we can play around with them to understand why things work the way they do. And you know what that means. It's time for another Professor Hester tester. We'll need a balloon, a plastic water bottle, a plastic bag, a pair of scissors, and a rubber band. Thank you, Chester. First, we slide the balloon inside the bottle and wrap the end around the top like this. Next, we carefully cut the bottom off the bottle. Then, we cut a round piece out of our plastic bag, about this big. Now, place the plastic over the bottom of the bottle and wrap the rubber band around it, like so. Gently pull the edges of the plastic so it's nice and tight. There! The bottle is like your chest. The pink balloon is like your lungs. And the plastic on the bottom is like your diaphragm. Now let's take a breath. Gently pull the diaphragm down, and look! The balloon fills with air. Push the diaphragm back up, and the air leaves the balloon. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. That's how your lungs work. Isn't it amazing? My breathing changes depending on what I'm doing. Right now, I'm just standing here, so I breathe slowly. But what would happen if Jester and I played a game of tag? Ready, Jester? Oh, come on, Jester. Hey, boy, you're it, come on. When I'm active, my body needs more oxygen, which is a kind of gas that's in the air, so I breathe faster. Your lungs' job is to make sure your body has the right amount of oxygen to do what you want it to do. Soccer, swimming, dancing, hiking, jumping rope, basketball, hula hooping, walking, playing at the park, and so much more. Your lungs do so much for you. In fact, an adult usually breathes between 17,000 to 28,000 times every day. That's millions of breaths of air every year. By the time you're 75 years old, you'll have taken enough breaths of air to fill 40 million of these balloons. Our lungs do so much for us, it just takes my breath away.
Continue to next activity.
Hi, kids. Professor Esther Hester here. And this is Jester, my lab partner. Say hello, Jester. Today, we're going to use science to learn all about the parts of a plant. Plants have a lot of different parts that help them live and grow. The flowers, leaves, stems, and roots. You can't actually see the roots because they're buried under the soil, but I've come up with a little something to solve that problem. Let's take a closer look using my latest invention, Professor Hester's magnificent Microbot machine. And this is how we'll be able to see what the magnificent Microbot sees. Okay, ready to see the parts of the plant like never before? Here we go. See those branches and fibers? Those are the roots. The roots keep the plant in place in the soil and take in water and other materials, called nutrients, that the plant needs to live and grow. This is the stem. The stem holds the plant leaves up so that they can capture the light from the sun. Stems also carry water and food through the plant. I bet you'll never look at a plant the same way again. And I bet Jester will never look at a fly the same way again. Now it's time for today's experiment, which I like to call Professor Hester's Tester. For this experiment, you'll need a few stems of bright white flowers, like carnations. Aw, thanks, Jester. They're beautiful. You'll also need some small jars or cups filled with water and different colors of food coloring. Now, I'm cutting the flowers and putting them in the colored water. Here's a batch I did yesterday. Do you notice a difference? Beautiful, isn't it? The colored water traveled to the flowers through the tubes in the stem. If you don't have any white flowers, you can always use celery. Just cut off the celery stalks at the bottom and stick them in colored water. You want to put them on a sunny windowsill or under a bright light. It will only take about an hour or two for the celery leaves to start to turn the color of the water. Okay, back to the parts of our plant. The leaves use water, nutrients from the soil, sunlight, and something that is in the air called carbon dioxide to make its own food. Many plants have parts that people can eat. The carrots you eat are the roots of a plant. Apples are the fruit of a plant. Lettuce is the leaves of a plant. And celery is the stem of a plant. Whichever part of the plant we eat, it is something that the plant made out of water, carbon dioxide, nutrients from the soil, and sunlight. Amazing, isn't it? And delicious, too. See you next time!
For every history lover's favorite game show, Historically Speaking. And here is everyone's favorite host, Happy Harrison!
Welcome to Historically Speaking, where you'll find all the answers in the past. Today's contestants are all inventors of some pretty amazing things that we use every day. Our first inventor's mother and wife were deaf. His research on hearing and speech eventually led to the creation of the telephone. Say hello to Alexander Graham Bell. Our next inventor created many inventions that improved people's lives and is best known as the man who invented the light bulb. Let's hear it for Thomas Edison! Our final inventor not only invented a better way to make light bulbs, but he also worked with Alexander Graham Bell on the invention of the telephone. Say hello to Lewis Latimer! Let's get started. When this inventor was a young man, he taught himself how to make the complicated drawings inventors use to describe their inventions. Yes, Mr. Edison.
That would be Lewis Latimer.
Correct. Here's our next question. The first words spoken on a telephone were by Alexander Graham Bell, who said what to his assistant?
That would be Mr. Watson. Come here, I want to see you.
You are correct. Naturally. Next question. This inventor invented a machine for playing records called a phonograph. Yes, Mr. Latimer?
That would be Thomas Edison.
Right you are.
He also invented the movie camera. Before that, there were no such things as movies.
Good thing I was born after the invention of the movie camera. Looks like we have a three-way tie. This next category will decide our winner. Today, there are more than 1 billion of these in the world. What is it? Anyone? It's an updated version of one of your famous inventions. Ring, ring. Any guesses? You can also use it to play music, like Mr. Edison's phonograph, and it can also take photographs or make movies. Oh, sorry. Time's up. It's a smartphone.
A smart phone?
Where are the wires?
Does it look very smart to me?
Looks like that's all the time we have. There may not be a clear winner today, but we're all winners because of the creativity and hard work of these great inventors. You know how to put that back together, right? See you next time. Until then, this show is history.